Welcome to Side Character Quest. With you this week is me, your guest, Mallory. And as always, your host...
Ty! Welcome, listeners!
This was ill-conceived.
We did not think that through.
No, we didn't think that through.
One more round.
Oh.
Wait, are you Wait, he's coming back. He's coming back. I can see him.
Okay.
Gather yourself.
Welcome to Side Character Quest. With you this week is me, your guest, Mallory. And as always, your host...
Hi, it's Ty. Welcome, listeners. Let's talk about what happened last week. That's what we usually do at the beginning, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be hard to keep this bit going considering Eli has walked away from the mic and doesn't have a headphone, so he can't hear what I'm saying on my side. But yeah, let's so listeners, that was a very, very well done little intro skit. And you're welcome. Yeah, so
Hey, listeners. I'm sorry.
So it's been a couple months for us. It's only been roughly a fortnight for you guys. Assuming things have gone well and nothing terrible happened in between episodes. But in the last couple of episodes, our intrepid guildmaster Alton, who is in D&D terms a rogue, has been conscripted into a bit of a kind of a heist. Not really, because I don't think they expect you to really steal anything. More of a scouting mission, some might say, by a nefarious business person named Hosalda. Where we last left off, you were making your sweet plans to make your way into the Congress Monastery, a old monastery that's laid up against this ancient construction. Yeah, that pretty much covers what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay.
We came up with a brilliant plan that as soon as we stopped recording the last one, I was like, man, that could have been better.
I mean,
we're going with it now. It's the plan.
I kind of put you on the spot, but also this isn't like a super high security place, and I don't think that in my mind, Hosalda didn't really expect you to come up with something incredibly crazy or intricate. I was just giving you space such that if you wanted to do something crazy and intricate, you could, but you chose the straightforward approach, which maybe, we'll see, could be the best.
It usually is.
Usually.
But I imagine there's going to be some twists and turns.
Twists and turns. So yeah, the basic plan, as you reminded me pre-show, is basically that you and Wark, who is a sort of arcanely attuned dwarf, are going to make your way, sort of go into the main cathedral during a service. Then these two ruffians, brigands, Iver and Not, are going to cause a distraction so that you guys can make your way into the east side of this construction and find that room where you had installed a lock and see what perhaps this monastery might be hiding back there. So tell me, when you are, doing this preparation, like what are you, how is Alton like dressed? How is he decked out right now?
Did they let me change? Am I still just wearing what I was wearing at the party?
No, they've let you change, and like they would have. You get the impression that they let you change. They let you change. They let you get whatever supplies you needed. I'm not gonna put
I remember
words,
we went back to the
thoughts in your mind.
Yeah, I remember we went back to the workshop / residence, but I didn't think I grabbed any clothes. But we can say that what would I wear?
Yeah, what would you wear?
Let's get. Sorry for all the sounds of paper, listeners.
No, we can edit those out. They don't even need to know.
Oh, good. Oh, they don't need to know that I was just pulling papers trying to find my character sheet.
It's our little secret.
All I know about Alton is that if he wore casual clothes to a party, he's probably going to wear pretty casual clothes for a B&E. But he does have a hooded cloak that I imagine he would wear, obviously not with the hood up, looking suspicious, but bring that in case he has to do some kind of extra sneaky stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I'm trying to think for what I would bring. I imagine just like I have the burglar's pack and my thieves' tools and my lock picking stuff. I imagine that's all pretty much the same. I have a short sword and a short bow. I don't imagine I would bring either of those. Probably just all of my lock picking stuff and then my 2 daggers.
Okay, I was gonna say, like,
As
are
far
you
as
just gonna go in
equipment goes.
unarmed?
No,
Okay.
I imagine that I'm not gonna pull out a short sword or a bow because that seems a little extreme.
That is very
Maybe
fair.
I'll bring the daggers. I feel like Alton's game plan is if shit goes sideways, he's just gonna get out.
Yeah, that sounds like Alton.
Because I feel like I'm in no way connected to these people.
Yeah.
Like, if they all get caught, I mean, they'll immediately sell me out. Never mind. But either way, I feel like carrying a sword is not.
That is a very fair. That's some good insight you got there.
They'll immediately be like, it was all Alton.
Yeah.
But I feel like Alton's not going to just go around stabbing monks. I'm going to take some knives. Daggers. Sorry. Daggers is the fantasy version.
Sounds good to me. Are you wearing that hooded situation, that hooded cloak?
Yes.
Okay. So you are headed towards the main cathedral of Congress Monastery. You can see this. You know, you've left the main city of Cirque and are walking, the short distance over some hills, down a couple of pathways over to the monastery that is built onto the side of the circle, the circular wall above Cirque. As you approach this monastery, you can see that it's got a smaller, maybe 20-foot raised wall blocking most of the place in. Built into the west side, the east side are 2 large gates that are closed for the night. It's mid-evening right now, but in the center between those two sections, those 2 quarter circles, I guess you would say, is the main cathedral of Congress Monastery, and its doors are wide open. And roll me a perception check. Or what's your passive perception? I suppose I can just give you
My passive perception is 15.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'll just give you some stuff.
I see all.
Yeah, you see all. So as you're approaching this building, you can see that it has, lots of really nice stained glass windows on the front. Though the western side, the window on the left of the door of the entrance to this cathedral, that one's actually a little shattered from something. I don't know. The doors are wide open, and you can you can smell the incense drifting out from inside. You can see a few people making their way in or out of the doors of the building, and you can hear the sounds of music coming from the inside. You also have Wark standing beside you. He is also is wearing a cloaked hood, and is dressed. He's made himself look a little grubby, perhaps trying to look like I don't know, like a poor person, perhaps a beggar, something like that. And he is walking beside you. Actually, strike that. He is dressed in his Sunday best. How do I want him to be clothed? What's the most interesting thing? How would you have told Wark to dress?
Hmm. This is going to be boring, but I feel like the middle of those two things, like I don't want him to like either of us to look super fancy or super nasty. Like we're trying to not be noticed.
Okay.
So just like some casual clothes.
Okay. He's wearing a light cloak over his shoulders, protecting against the wind. I think it was summer last time we played, so it wouldn't be cold. Whatever. He's wearing a linen shirt, some brown pants, pretty basic, clothes. He also, though, you also notice that he has a bag strapped to his shoulder. And that's all he's carrying right now. He's not carrying a sword or anything like that. And yeah, you guys just make your way in. What are you doing?
Well, I have two questions before we just stroll in.
Yes, ma'am.
One is how long do we have until these gates are closed?
They will probably stay open for the next three hours, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then number two, did we talk at all along our journey?
He'd probably wait for you to say stuff. What have you talked to him about?
Because I imagine Alton would be pretty interested in this man and what's in his backpack. What did he bring? Why is he working for Hosalda? Let's have this in character, I guess, shall we?
Sure, go for it.
As if I actually even have a character voice, but I was going to give you a chance to do your nice character voices. So Wark, what's your story? How did you meet? Have you guys been traveling together for a while?
He gets kind of a, he has a look. He has a look on his face, and he's like, "No, I mean, I suppose we've been together for a few months, but I wouldn't say that we've been traveling together or that, that it was by choice." He has a kind of like pained expression on his face. But then he just
What do you mean by
down.
that?
I don't know that I want to talk about it. If you're gonna try to like get him to keep going, you can give me a persuasion, charisma check, maybe.
I'm gonna roll that charisma check.
Go for it.
And while I'm rolling it, I'm gonna think of what I would actually say. That's a pretty good roll.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is, if you give it if you get a 10 or above, I'm going to let the conversation continue. If you get a 15 or above, I will like answer as completely as possible the question that you give me.
Hey, Ty, guess what?
Yeah.
I got a 20.
Oh shit. Okay.
Not a nat 20. Just a 20 after adding my charisma modifier.
All right. What's you gonna ask me?
My question was, are you unable to leave?
So he's a little disarmed by your like. Maybe he like hears a little concern in your voice or something. But he looks at you and he says, "Oh, Solda, all she wants is power. Do you have any family?"
None I'm close to.
Just your apprentice, then.
Yeah.
I think you should send him to live with his folks. Then, after tonight, you should run. You should get away. He holds up his hand, and it's missing a finger. And he says, his right hand, and he says, "She took my finger. She took my job. She took my family. Don't let her do the same to you."
What side are Not and Iver on?
They're on the side of who pays. and they're on the side of what's fun for them. And one thing you should know, trading a trinket doesn't mean that Hosalda will forget where Danny lives.
Ty, we're about to take this episode in a whole new direction.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm kidding. No, I wish if I was a fighter, we would be taking this in a whole new direction, but I am not strong.
I was about to be I was both very unprepared, but also very into it if that had happened.
I mean, I'm gonna stew this information over.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. I'm trying to think if I have anything else I want to try to ask. I know we probably don't have tons of time to talk.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
cool.
I'm assuming this is happening like in the walk from, like, you guys met up at the edge of Cirque and are sort of having this conversation on the 10-15 minute walk over to wherever, over to Congress Monastery.
Yeah. Okay. So if she's already taken that much from you, why don't you run?
It's when all you have left is your life. I'm not very fast. I'm not good at hiding. I have a little bit of comfort. She has a use for me. And now that everything else is gone, this is as good a life as I can expect.
I'm sorry, listeners, if you're wondering why there's a huge pause, it's because I'm making dramatic arm motions because I'm trying to think of something that I can do because now all of a sudden this man is my son. I need to protect him just as much as I need to protect Daniel. Oh, man. Man. Bitches. We can say that Alton said that in character. I mean, why? We can just go turn her in. It's just the two of us right now. Iver and Not aren't going to be coming in for a while. We know where she is.
The problem that Cirque, you know, you've lived here all your life. When was the last time you saw any sort of violence, any sort of crime in this city? It doesn't happen. And when there's no crime, there's not really a force that we can run to.
I feel like I should have already known that. There's a lot of pregnant pauses in this audio recording as I tried very quickly to think. Ty's throwing a lot of curveballs at me. Okay, well, cool. Now I have this weighing heavy on my heart as we walk into this monastery. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask.
Pats you on the pats you on the shoulder. I'm gonna make the assumption that you said that kind of in character, and he's like, "Let's just get through tonight. We'll deal with whatever's to come tomorrow."
What's she gonna do if we don't succeed?
She'll probably find some way to encourage you. Unless you get away.
Okay, so let's just try to get this done. Is it fair Is it fair to assume that we can't trust Not and Iver?
I would not trust them with I would not trust them with my worst quill.
All right. And is that it? It's just the four of you guys?
Oh, no. My impression is that Hosalda has quite a few different operatives, different agents across a few different cities. maybe some in Mount Rena, maybe some down as far as even like Flughaven, and maybe some on the Salton Seas. But around here, I don't know who else works for her.
All right.
Does this change anything for you? Do you need to go talk to anybody? Do you need to do anything?
I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I don't know if you remember.
Mhm.
Sorry, listeners. How much time did we say was going to be in between us getting there and then Not Niver coming in? Are they far behind us?
I don't think we said. I was just about to say what I had assumed, but rather than say that, I'm gonna let you tell me how long did you tell them to wait?
I mean, this was back before I knew they were nasty. So imagine I would have said probably about 30 minutes because that would give us enough, like it would be enough time to not tie us together as a group, but we'd all still be there, probably still in the cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah. How far away is this place from my workshop? Far.
Very far. Yeah, because you've got Congress Monastery between Cirque and the Circle, and then you're with Cirque, to the south, Circle to the north, and then your suburb of Cirque is to the sort of east side of Cirque. So it's quite a bit of ways.
Okay. I have one more bullshit question before we can start this heist. I'm sorry, listeners.
No, this is good. This is what they paid for.
In my years of just like swiping magical stuff, is there anything that I could have swiped that would be like some kind of message delivering thing? Is there any way that I have to contact Danny?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
Because just roll me a history check and I'll give you an answer for that.
12.
Okay. You know that you don't have anything that does any sort of like message. You also know that that messaging magic is like notoriously finicky. It's tends to not be super reliable around here for whatever reason.
Okay, for dramatic storytelling purposes, as soon as we're about to go in the monastery, I'm just going to turn to Wark and go, Wark, you do magic. Do you have any way to send a message?
And he sort of like, no, most of my magic is based on wards and on, those sorts of things. I have some, and he sort of like pulls his bag off of his shoulder and starts looking through it. He's like, I've got my gloves. I have, oh, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I can't, I don't think I do.
Okay, well, rip Danny.
So listeners, I'll probably have cut back like half at least of all of those pregnant pauses. I had a listener call in or not call in, write in and be like, you gotta give people like more time to like make up their minds and stuff. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I cut out the dead air. So I'm
cut
gonna
out just the 30 seconds of silence that it took for me to ask this man a question.
Exactly. So I'm gonna try to be better at like leaving those dramatic pauses so that people are aware when like things take people some time to like react to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have anything cool. Is there a guild nearby? Because guild people have to help me.
Ooh.
It's in the rules.
Are you
think I'm kidding?
Are you
They have to give me lodging and food, and they have to support me if I'm arrested. I pay dues. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I pay dues.
Oh shit. Okay. Are you next to the monastery now?
Yes, I imagine we're probably by that time about to walk in,
Okay.
and I just had a thought and wondered if there was a guild nearby.
Let me see. Let me roll a dice to determine if there's any guild members nearby. On the outside of the building, you notice a person surveying one of the window on the left. It's a kind of short human, and she is like looking over the stained glass. And you recognize her as a member of Quayle's guild, which specializes in glasswork. You don't necessarily. You could roll me I guess this would also be a history check, of like whether you remember her name. You could make an argument that it's something else.
I don't. That was a 3.
Okay, you don't know their name. Yeah, you don't know their name.
I don't at all. But I recognize them as being a member of the Glassmakers Guild, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how this works because I don't know how guilds work. Do I just go like, do we have a secret handshake? How do you identify yourself as a member of a guild?
You tell me.
I don't know, Ty. You tell me. This is your world. Do we have like a pin? Do I have like a little pin that looks like a key?
You'd probably not be.
A pin that
looks like a shard of glass.
Yes, it just looks like some glass. It's like a window pane.
You would probably not be wearing that pin, because you're trying to go incognito right now. But I don't know.
Oh, Ty.
You are a very well-known person among the guild.
Okay. And okay. Oh God. We're going to take it all the way back to episode 1, listeners. Who was my friend in the glass? What was her name? The glass people?
Ellen Quayle.
Ellen. Okay.
Yeah, she's the head of the glassmaking guild. Okay.
I'm going to be like, work, hold on one moment, and I'm going to run over to this lady.
Okay. Oh, okay. And as you're running away.
Probably not run. I'm going to walk briskly over to this woman that I recognize as being a member of this guild, and I'm going to be like, I need your help.
She sort of like steps back. You see that she has like a notebook, and she's scribbling some notes about the window. And she turns to you and says, what with what? And she looks a little taken aback by your sudden approach.
I'm sorry. I'm friends with Ellen, and I recognized you as being a member of the Glassmakers Guild. I'm worried that my apprentice might be in danger, and I need help getting a message to him.
Who are you? She's trying to take a close look, but your face is obscured by your hood. Who are you?
I don't take my hood off.
Okay.
But I do tell this lady, I'm Alton of the Locksmiths Guild. Sounds so weird saying it out loud.
Oh.
I imagine I say it in a much more prominent voice than that, but also quietly.
I'm so sorry. My name is Lee. I'm from you know. Oh gosh. Mr. Alton. Okay. What do you need? What can I do for you?
If I give you a note, will you take it to my shop and give it to my apprentice?
Of course. Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And
do I need to do it right now? Mrs. Guildmaster Quayle was expecting me to take notes on this repair. What do I need to do it right now?
After you finish with that, could you go?
Yeah, definitely, certainly.
Okay. Yeah, finish doing your work first.
Okay, thank you. And
then,
she sort of like rips out a piece of paper from her notebook and passes you that and like a quill to scribble down a note.
cool. I write. Ooh, this is going to be a long episode. I write. Danny, it's me, Alton. Writing you this note. You're still not safe. I can't trust these people. If you have the ability to, you need to leave town right away. Write down your location. Lock it up in that secret box that you've been working on unlocking all day. I'm sure you've been there working hard. Remember that puzzle box I gave you when I left?
I forgot.
I feel like I gave him something to just
Yeah, you
work
gave
on
him
unlocking.
something to work on. I think that was right.
Yeah, lock it up in that. Put it under the workbench, so I know where you are and that you're safe. And please get out of town. And that's all. Okay, bye.
Awesome.
I'll find a way to get a letter to you when you're safe. You really need to run, please. I'm rambling, but you know that's how I do.
Awesome.
Take your family too.
Oh man.
Hope you got that box unlocked. Okay. Bye.
Oh geez. That's so good.
I couldn't think of a way to wrap that up, but I feel like I wanted to make it sound super urgent, and then I was like, oh no, this boy's gonna panic.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that he is actually an adult. Okay, cool. That was fine. We're not gonna re-record that. That was I crushed.
Perfect.
Got it in one. And I seal up that note and give it to. Oh, I already forgot her name.
It was Lee.
Lee. I give it to Lee and say, Lee, thank you so much. My apprentice's name is Danny. I appreciate this so much. I will find a way to pay you back.
Okay. Thank you. She takes the thing back from you and the note back from you, and she goes back to scribbling in notes and about the stained glass.
Okay, cool. I go back over to work and say, let's do this.
Nice. So you guys turn and head up the short stairs up into the main entrance into the Congress Cathedral, main cathedral. Yeah, you're just like walking straight in.
Yeah, I imagine that we're walking straight in, and
Okay.
I gotta be real with you.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about religion of the real world. I know very little about religion of this fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine that Alton would at least like know what people do when they go to a cathedral.
Yeah. So Alton, we've talked before. I don't know if it was on mic, but you told me that he does not really care about religion much. And so with that in mind, I'm going to have you roll. Is there a religion check, or is there just like a history check again?
There's a religion check.
Roll me a religion check to see like how aware you are of like proper manners.
Oh, thank God. Because I have no additions to religion. So that's a 15.
15. Okay. You know that like the general expected thing is for you to walk in. The Congress Cathedral is like this very like versatile space. Many different gods get worshipped here. They generally get their own services. Although occasionally there are non-denominational events, or there's some events that are for multiple gods, that sort of thing. But generally there's, the general way to behave. You want to go in, you're going to be kind of quiet. You're going to find a spot in the pews and hang out, and like listen to sermons, listen to, readings, listen to music, performed for the glory of the gods. There's various like other ways that it can happen. Like some people, some religions might involve like, I don't know, burning of certain incenses. Some might involve performing certain like magical rites, that sort of stuff. But generally, if you just like go in and are like not too loud, no one's gonna, notice you that much.
Okay. Is there, so the pews, is there a way to walk all the way on the right, like along the wall?
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine that's where I would go and just like walk pretty close to the front.
Roll me
and sit down some. Oh, go for it.
Roll me a stealth check that I'm just gonna have like carry for like how much people are noticing you. Because it sounds like you're trying to be stealthy about this approach.
Do you want to know something funny?
Yeah.
I critically failed that roll, but I re-roll.
Oh, because
because I'm a halfling and I don't understand why anyone wouldn't be a halfling.
Haven't you already used that twice in this
probably
short,
because I have awful luck.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Thank God I had that, because now I rolled. Let me add all my stealth modifiers. 19.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm sneaky.
Okay, so unless you like specifically do something to draw attention, I'm just gonna like have that be, the deal.
Okay.
And so are you having Work walk with you, or are you directing him to like go sit somewhere else?
I imagine we would pretty much stick together.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to walk along.
I'm gonna have him roll a stealth check as well.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh.
It's so blurry, Ty. Is that a crit 20?
That is a crit 20.
Gosh, nobody notices him. He's like a ghost.
He is so stealthy. So as you're walking along, you're walking along the side of the wall. It's like there's tons of incense things going along the wall. Incense, what's the word? Burners, I guess. And they're putting out a fair amount of smoke, and it dissipates pretty quickly, but it's right at his head level, and he's just like walking through the smoke so that like his face is completely obscured.
Wow. The drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Work, you're all right.
Where do you say you guys sit?
Okay, I want to walk, like, not to the very front row, but probably like 3 or 4 rows back, so that we could basically search that entire wall and like also see in front of us. I'm looking for any kind of door or window that leads into that other, like that courtyard where the hall that we're trying to get into is.
Gotcha. So describe to me, like, you guys sit down. There's a couple of people a few rows away from you, but they do not take notice at all. There you notice roll me a perception check to see sort of like the space.
So it wasn't great, but I'll remind you that my passive perception is 15. If we can go with that instead.
What did you get?
Oh, well, I guess I am proficient in it, so it's still 10. Could be better.
Okay.
Perfectly average.
So this is what I'm going to tell you. You are in a large cathedral. There is stained glass windows all along the sides, long wooden pews that have like nice little carvings on the side. There are, did I already say that there's incense like coming out from containers on the walls. There's lanterns lining the walls as well. They're about 2/3 of the way to the back of the cathedral. There is a altar. A person is standing at that altar, and behind them, taking up the last third of the place, is a raised balcony that has a choir on it. And hanging from that balcony are long or curtains, or like banners, maybe. So you could check out a little bit closer one of those things if you want, like an investigation, or you could get up and take a look at some things or something.
So no doors, huh?
None that you can see.
Okay. I imagine I would like to investigate up there closer, but I don't know the religious reason as to why I would need to go up there.
Okay.
Is there like, I'm sorry if you've already said this, but is there like an altar
Yes.
that people are like kneeling at?
There's you can just see this. I don't know why I would have you roll for this. There is an altar that no one's kneeling at it. Everybody that is worshiping right now are worshiping from the pews. There is a tall, pretty broad human man, maybe in his 50s, standing at the altar, giving a sermon. He has a pretty booming voice, and is dressed in like this sort of vertically striped, yellow and white tabard robe kind of situation. And he's just, giving a speech, and there's the people in the choir above that are singing some hymns. But other than that, there's nobody standing next to the altar at this point.
Okay. I think what Alton would do next is stay here.
Okay.
Like, try to keep observing to see if people are walking in and out of anywhere up at the front. If he can see if there's any, because obviously there has to be a way to get up to the balcony, but
yeah,
just people watch basically of everyone moving up there, and wait the 30 minutes until Not and Ave come in, hoping that they make enough of a scene as two large, out of place, probably armed because they're dumb, dragonborn. Like, I imagine that enough people would probably take notice of them coming in to maybe we could take advantage of that brief moment of distraction.
Nice.
So in the meantime, I'm just going to watch the area up there, because I know there's no doors between the entrance to the cathedral to where we are now.
Yeah.
So it has to be in the front.
Yes, exactly. That's a fair,
if it exists.
That's a very fair guess. So while you're just sort of like hanging out here, are you so you're also every once in a while checking to the doors to see who enters?
Yeah, because I'm specifically watching to see when they enter, but I imagine I would take note if any other interesting people are coming in.
So as you know, as this time goes by, maybe 10 minutes pass, you're seeing people go in and out. Notice a gnome woman who you've hired, or who's hired you in the past to do locks on her house. You notice Father Pard, who runs the Congress Monastery, sitting towards the front of the place. You also notice eventually Lord Cedric come in and sit in the back of the cathedral. He's wearing his robes. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. Nothing crazy happens for the next 20 minutes or so while you're waiting for these guys.
Do any of these people notice me?
With your awesome stealth of 19, assuming that you were just sitting here and you're not doing anything, nope, they don't notice you at all.
Cool.
Yeah, they were gonna.
Do I notice any cool stuff going on up front?
Eventually,
like magic doors appearing.
Roll me an investigation. Would investigation be right for this? Do you have to actually be physically interacting with stuff for investigation? I would say, let's just say investigation. If that's not quite right, then I'm sorry.
You make the rules here, Ty.
Yeah.
You're the DM. It's your podcast. Ty, I shit you not. That's another critical fail. Let me re-roll that.
Oh my gosh.
This is the life I live. That is a 19.
That's the
God bless halflings.
That is the exact same turnaround that you did before. A critical fail to a 19.
Well, the other one I had stuff that I could add.
Okay.
This one was I rolled a 1 and then I rolled a 19 because I don't add anything to investigation.
That's still remarkable, and that's why I remarked on it. As time goes on, you do notice so you're watching the sort of the front, looking for any sort of like people going through any sort of entrances. You do notice at one point one of the members of the choir slips away through a door on the left side of the cathedral that's was sort of hidden behind a curtain on the top of the balcony. You also notice with a breeze, sort of a draft of air ruffling some of the banners that are hanging from the balcony behind the altar. You see that there's some shadow back there, which leads you to believe there is empty space underneath the balcony that is hidden by those banners that are hanging from it. The banners, by the way, are alternating yellow and white.
Cool. What's Work been doing this whole time?
He has been fidgeting.
He's got magic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does have magic. He's been fidgeting some. You've seen him like reach in his bag and pull on some gloves and then take them off and then pull them back on again and then take them off again a few times. He is right now about 20 minutes into your waiting session. He is just like flipping through a hymnal that was sitting on the back of the pew in front of you guys.
Is the man still up at the altar?
Yes, the man is still up at the altar. You can kind of tell he seems to be wrapping things up.
Okay. I'm going to at least wait until he is done wrapping things up, and then I'm just gonna, as casually as I can with my expert stealth, walk up there.
Okay. So you're just sort of like waiting in the pews, still just sort of making time pass. You see out of the corner of your eye that Wark like pulls off his gloves again and throws them back in his bag. And then you start to think like, okay, now is the time. You start to like nudge your way over to the side of the pew and are about to get up. And right when that happens, you hear a clanging from the back of the of the cathedral, and you hear calling out from the back. One moment, give me a second.
Listeners, Ty has turned his microphone off so that he can practice his character voices. I just need you to know, this is a thing that he is doing right now. I can see his mouth moving, but there's no audio because he has turned his microphone off to practice character voices. So get excited. It's about to be great.
And you see from the back of the cathedral, you hear from the back of your cathedral a loud noise as someone calls out, "Hello, my friends! 'Tis I, the great Lumen!" And you turn around and you see a very ridiculously tall figure that is clearly a person standing on another person's shoulders wearing like a big robe, and this figure is juggling sunburst like little light sun-shaped balls in the air. "'Tis I, the great Lumen, come to amaze you with my miracles. Ah, yes, my high priest, how are you doing? Wonderful, wonderful." And that's where we're gonna end today.
I was gonna say, that's such a good ending. I just want Alton to just be like, that's fucking perfect. And just grab Wark and run towards the front. As we dramatically fade to black.
All right, guys. This has been fun. I look forward to continuing on with this next time with Alton and Warwick and Iber and Not and all the gang. So we'll see you guys in the future. In the meantime, find us on Twitter at SCQ Podcast. Send us emails at sidecharacterquest@gmail.com. Reach out, say hello, do stuff. Maybe if you tweet at us, maybe I'll add your name to the list of like NPC names that I created recently, which is why I was able to pull Lee out of my mind so quickly. It's because I made a spreadsheet. I finally made a spreadsheet, so I just had names at the ready. So yeah, guys, reach out, say hello, and if you've been enjoying this show so far, leave a review on whatever product you're using to listen to things. Thanks. Hey, Mallory, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to do?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay,
I got nothing going on that people could follow. I got no Twitter. I got no podcast besides this one. I lead an uninteresting internet life.
That's a very fair point. Uninteresting internet life. You live a pretty interesting non-internet life. All right,
yes,
guys.
I just don't have lots of internet stuffs going on.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, people, for joining us. How should we sign off this week? Yeah, I feel ya.
What was the thing we did the very first week that was pretty bad, but we did it anyway? Oh, Alton is alt off.
We did that? That's so bad.
We did that, Ty.
Well, that's recorded.
I don't know if it made it into the episode. You could have cut it out of the episode.
I don't know either. I haven't edited that one yet.
You should cut it out of the episode so people will be even more confused by the ridiculousness of it.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Okay. Alton is all off. Bye, everybody.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Thanks to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Find them at thejordrops.com. You can find us at sidecharacterquest.com, at SCQ Podcast on Twitter, or by email at sidecharacterquest@gmail.com.
This is gonna get cut and put in the bloopers.
I'll stumble upon one of those horse boys that are now they're all silver now because I've killed so many of them, and they'll still whoop me a little bit. Like they're scary.
They are. They're dangerous boys.
Yay, we did it. We can count.
We can count so well.
At least to 10. What else you have? Oh, yep, there's Ty. Okay, bye. He can probably hear you.
I could vaguely
hear Eli?
him. What did he say?
Could you hear Eli?
I heard him yelling, but I couldn't make out what it was.
Oh, he was asking me stuff about Pokemon. Because we have Let's Go Eevee.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure Ty's waiting on me. And he said loudly that Ty could huff my nuts.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Listeners, if this shows up on the show, Eli is a very loving, kind person who can huff my nuts.
We'll put that in the bloopers.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Eli.
Oh, here comes Eli. Hey, Eli, tell Eli to come do the intro.
Hey, Eli, come do the intro.
Welcome to Side Character.
You're so loud. it just immediately peaked the second you started speaking.
I'm not used to having a good microphone. Welcome to Side Character Quest. With you this week is me, Mallory. Nope, damn it, we can't use last names.
You screwed up. I had a listeners. I DM'd a game pre-podcast where one of the players was a rogue with such ridiculously good perception that I got used to never asking people what they would see, because like I just always knew that they would see everything. I would only ever ask if there wouldn't be an opportunity for the person to like share that information, because every time they saw everything, they were like, I relay all of that to the party. So anyway, cool.
Is that it for the night?
I think that is it for the night. Just because I feel like this has been a good amount of time. I have tons more planned, as I'm sure you could guess.
I was going to say, I can't imagine we made it through anything you had planned.
No, but the first 15, 20 minutes where you're just talking with Warwick were like so unexpected and so so much better. And I was like, oh shit, are things going to go off the rails? Because I was not prepared, but I would have been so down.
Yeah, I imagine if I could have thought of anything else that I could have done to stop this woman, it would have gone off the rails, but I am not good at thinking on my feet.
I mean, I think it's very the idea of pulling in a person to send a warning to them. I think that's the smart way to handle the situation, because what it says is I'm going to you're giving Danny time to escape. You are giving him time. You are buying him time by going along with the plan at this point, because there's no reason that you have to think that Hosalda hasn't said that she's doing anything nefarious with this. You get the impression that she's going to do something nefarious, but you helping her now does not immediately put anyone in danger.
Right.
So it's pretty reasonable to just go along with it. But it also would have been incredibly reasonable for you to have tried something if you had a plan. So
yeah,
I would have.
Yeah, it's at this point, knowing that this message is most likely going to get safely to Danny.
Yeah.
Alton, I feel sees no reason not to go along with the plan.
Yeah.
And then just kind of wing it afterwards, because he doesn't really have anyone else they can hurt besides him.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Makes sense.
We'll see. And I kind of want to know what's behind that door.
I know. Yeah.
It's if I had gone to the authorities or somewhere off the rails, then me or the listeners would never know what's behind that door.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, hey.
So, first of all, I say that we turn off our recordings just so that I don't go diving through this later looking for good bloops. Yes. Because that takes up more time than it's worth.
Fair.
All right.
All right.